The lowland clays and waters off Lough Beg, Church Island spire, its soft tree line of view.
We're in Seamus Heaney country in Northern Ireland, which has such a deep literary tradition. They say you can pick up a stone and toss it in any direction and hit a poet.
Across the street, through the swinging doors into a land of make-believe and dreams. The shilling passed across the desk, and in its place came back a ticket, red or sometimes blue or green. This whole area would have been the area that Seamus Heaney grew up in as a young boy. Looking back towards Church Island, and not only does Heaney mention this in his poetry, but of course these little roads and these little fields are the fields and the little roads that Heaney would have known as a boy. And indeed, he always said growing up in this part of the world was very formative in his later poetry. And although Heaney was to become internationally regarded across the world as a poet, and not only held chairs in both Oxford and also Harvard, he never really forgot his roots. And the one great thing about Heaney was that he always identified with this small part of Ireland that he grew up in here. Well, it's always been a long-held tradition in Ireland, you know, to come back and be buried in your own clay here alongside your family and forefathers. And of course, despite his international celebrity, Seamus actually wanted to come back here and lie between his former friends and forefathers. But here Seamus lies in a small corner of the family graveyard, where he probably came as a boy to worship at the church next door.
One of his earliest memories is the sound of digging out in the back of the farmhouse. His father, in part, made his living with the spade. Seamus Heaney, who won the Nobel Prize for Literature, wrote,
"Between my finger and my thumb, the squat pen rests snug as a gun. Under my window, a clean rasping sound. When the spade sinks into gravelly ground, my father digging, I look down. Till a strinning rump among the flower beds bends low, comes up 20 years away, stooping in rhythm through potato drills where he was digging. The coarse boot, nestled on the lug with the shaft, against the inside knee was levered firmly. He rooted out tall tops, buried the bright edge deep, to scatter new potatoes that we picked, loving their cool hardness in our hands. By God, the old man could handle a spade just like his old man. My grandfather cut more turf in a day than any other man on Toner's Bog. Once I carried him milk in a bottle, corked sloppily with paper. He straightened up to drink it, then fell to right away, nicking and slicing neatly, heaving sods. Over his shoulder, going down and down for the good turf digging. The cold smell of potato mould, the squelch and slop of soggy peat, the curt cuts of an edge, through living roots awaken in my head. But I've no spade to follow men like them. Between my finger and my thumb, the squat pen rests. I'll dig with it.